Okay, it is March the 30th, 2022, 6:21 at night, and I'm Rob. I'm with the HOA. I'm the president of the Homeowners Association. I've been the president since 2013, for anybody who doesn't know who I am. And I am going to try to give you an update on what's going on with the pool, because I didn't know, and I really didn't know what the problem was or what the issue was. So a lot of people were asking, what's the problem, what's going on? Part of the problem was reaching out to the pool company, and our pool company's fine, but I'm sure anybody who works right now, or if you deal with anything in the world, if you don't just stay inside all day long, I have no doubt you're well aware that everybody's running into the same problem. If you're a vendor, you've got sub-vendors underneath you that you reach out to, parts aren't available, there's no employees, there's nobody to work, so everybody's behind, and I understand that. But when I would reach out to the pool company, everything was kind of getting pushed down the pike a little bit. So I'm not mad at the pool company, but I did light a little bit of a fire this week because I needed some info. Once I came up and got a look myself, which I apologize, I've been so busy I've not actually come up here and looked in a while. So let me run through some of the things I did know and some of the things I've learned. So what I did know was for the last, well, really, I guess we had the pool, if I remember correctly, it was 2015. We had to, for anybody who's new to the neighborhood, from this point in the deck here, which is just past the shower area, just this point in the deck here, all the way out through the pool, was completely torn out and rebuilt. So we had a pool here that was built in roughly 2008, I think it was. That pool sunk 6 inches at the deep end. We went back and forth, and without having to involve lawyers, just the board handling it, we were able to get the whole pool completely ripped out and replaced. It was like a $300,000 project, and it cost us around $5,000, and that was simply because we hired an engineering company to come in and monitor the progress of the pool as it was being done, so we knew it was being done right. So that had to be done. Once that was done, maybe a year or two later, I can't remember, we started noticing the autofill would run a lot. And what happens with the autofill, think of it like it's the same kind of system if you look at it up here. It's kind of like your toilet. When you flush it, there's a little float that in the back there that drops down with the water, and it's it opens up a latch and it lets water in until the water fills up and then stops. Well, that's exactly the way the autofill works, and it's located in a little hole. And some of this is just in case I'm not ever around to answer the questions if people ever have a question. So if you're over here at the mushrooms, there's a little circle on the ground by the 1.5 foot. Inside that is like a little toilet thing, basically. And that, sorry, covering up the camera, that is attached to what's called an autofill, which is turned on, and whenever that float drops too low, it lets the water fill into the pool and it goes up. Now what that's supposed to handle is things like evaporation, stuff like that. But what happens is sometimes you get a little leak, the water level in the pool slowly drops and nobody really notices, then the autofill kicks in. So every once in a while we would notice the water was running out the back of the pool, and we were trying to figure out what the issue was. Finally, what we got was this pool company coming in, Carolina Pools. They came in and they were like, hey, seems like there's a leak between your pool, your kiddie pool area, and the pool house, probably in the autofill. So, okay, cool. Do what you gotta do, get it fixed. COVID, delays, slowdowns, problems, issues, that all comes along. And we're just waiting for them to be able to get it done. In the meantime, they started looking around and they're going, there's a lot of water coming out of here. I don't think this is just an issue with the autofill. There's a miscommunication someplace between the pool company, the management company, and me. Somewhere in there, something broke down, and I know it wasn't me because I would know and I would just make a video or put the information out. But somewhere in there was a miscommunication, and nobody let me know a couple things that were happening. And one of the biggest things that they were going to do is let the pool drain from water, so it would get to the point where they could see how far it would drain, and when it stopped draining, at that point they could go, okay, we think the leak is here. And part of that was because all along the inside of the pool, when you look on the inside there are little filters and there are lights and things like that. And you know, anything on the inside of the pool, any drain hole, any light fitting, anything like that, has gaskets and stuff like that to keep the water from getting out of the pool. There's a lot of pressure on there, you know, from water being in the pool, that kind of thing. So little leaks can form over time. There's also great big, I don't know if you can see them on the camera or not, but there's these, I think you can, yeah, right? Figure out my arm. Right there, there's these big drains. Those are the main drains in the pool, and those could be leaking. So they're trying to figure all that out. One of the things they decided to do was let the water drop. Now, one of the questions was, is it gonna hurt the plaster? That was what I said. Hey, is it gonna hurt the plaster? And the answer I got back was, it's not cold enough for it to be an issue, so we're fine there. So no concerns, plaster looks good. We were out here talking about it just a few minutes ago with a couple of guys from Carolina Pools. Not worried about that at all. There's a couple of little things around the pool that need to be fixed too. There is the backflow, which I guess is to keep the water from pushing back through and everything. That had a crack in one of the parts, and they went ahead and pulled that apart. They're trying to get a part to replace that. So that has to be replaced. They're working on this leak with leak detection. They're gonna be out here doing a bunch of little work. There's some things I'm gonna have to go back to the board and say, hey, these are some things we need to fix. These are some things we need to spend money on. There's issues with the caulk, which I'll show you right here. There's a caulk line that goes around, and that all needs to be redone. There's a caulk line that goes around the inside here, and there's some other things they can do, texturing and clean up and things that'll make it look nicer, but also make things a little bit nicer. And it kind of goes along with what we did on the outside, where a couple of the board members really pushed for all that pine needle to be torn out and reconcreted, and it's given us more deck surface area. So, you know, things that need to be done to make things nicer, things that need to be done to make things more functional, and things that need to be done to get things up and running. The biggest question that I know I'm going to get asked is, what's the delay on opening? Right now, I don't see a delay on opening. We're looking pretty good as far as that. I mean, they might be doing a little bit of work and stuff, trying to work on this leak. But as of right now, the plan is for them to be out here next week. So the week of April Fools. They're supposed to be out here doing a bunch of this work. Now, of course, weather dependent. And then we'll go from there. Questions I get about the pool every year. First of all, I'm looking at the my brain's blanking out right here. Somebody's saying what it's called. Pergola, the pergola. Thank you to whoever put it in my head. The pergola looks like it needs to be repainted to me. One of the questions that comes up every year is, what about putting like some sort of cloth across the top and securing it down so that you could have like a little more actual sun protection, maybe something that's like a sunblocker material. Personally, I'm for that and would spend some money on it. But we need to, this looks like it needs to be restained, and I'm just now seeing that walking around up here. So might work on getting that done. They just had to do some roofing stuff out here. I think you guys know about that. That if you didn't know about it, they had to do some roofing repairs. That was covered by insurance. At the same time, they were doing some roofing repairs over at townhomes. I think some people throughout the neighborhood had damage. They had their roofs replaced, that kind of thing. And every couple of years, these mushrooms need to be redone. They look a whole lot better when they're not, when they have water running off of them. They don't look too terrible this year, so we might be able to get through another year without having to do those. Before the pool gets opened up, it looks all green and slimy right now, and the edges look bad and all that. That'll all be cleaned up, pressure washed, and completely taken care of, so everything will look great there. And over at the side of the pool area, like on the parking lot, there's some rocks that are pulled out in like a drainage area. We've been looking for a company. I had a friend that I work with who runs a company who fixes that kind of stuff, and I kind of wanted to estimate from him just so I had somebody I trust to give me a number that I could go back to the board and say, well, it should cost us this much. It's been a struggle to get anybody, even friends, to come out and do work. So the pool company guy just told me, hey, if you can wait till June, we can do it. So my recommendation to the board is going to be, let's wait till June and let the pool company do it, so we can just get a whole lot of work done at once and kind of package it all together, and then say, hey, your number is this. Can you do it for this number? And kind of maybe we can get them to come down a little bit because we're getting so much at one time. Pool chairs and restrapping. I didn't know where the budget was going to end up this year, and we've got some increases in the insurance this year that's going to affect things. So I don't know what's going to happen with pool chair restrapping. I would have liked to have restrapped some more stuff. This is the stuff we had restrapped last year, and this is the stuff that we've not had restrapped yet and is not really usable. So I don't know. I'm in a conundrum there because I know we're gonna be spending money in other places. So you'll have to kind of bear with us as we work through the budget, look at what we gotta do. A lot of this stuff, repairs all around the pool, that should be able to come out of reserves. And that would be my discussion to the board, is like, hey guys, we should go into the reserves and we should do a bunch of these repairs. That's what the general reserve budget's for, and that's what we need to do. I can't think of anything else. I know one of the comments thrown out there recently, and I'm not mad at anybody or anything, but I want to give you like where my thought process is. One of the comments I saw, kind of glanced at Facebook, and I don't follow Facebook very much anymore, guys. I don't follow social media stuff very often, but I do get a lot of text messages directly and phone calls, and people can come chat with me, and I've always tried to be open. But one of the things I think was people feel like, well, the board members don't even come up here very often. My daughter's 13 years old. She's on a swim team. She is up here all the time doing laps throughout the summer. She's on like an online school and everything, so she's here, and the pool means a lot to me personally. So that's why I do stuff with the pool. So don't think that it's not a priority at all. It's a huge priority. We've had a lot going on, and I couldn't really get anybody to do anything, and I honestly didn't have the answers. So I didn't know what the problem was. I knew that the water was out. I didn't know it was this low. So it all comes together. But hopefully that answers questions and gives you guys some info. Because of the backflow work that they're trying to get the part for and everything, they can't, I don't know when we're going to turn the water on at the pool. That's one of the things that we're trying to get worked on for a couple other things that were going on in the neighborhood. I think that's it. I can't. If there's something else, Almond Glen HOA@gmail.com. I do read the emails. You can send me a message on Facebook. I do get my messages if you message me on Facebook. If we're not listed as friends, it might delay it or something like that. You can tag me in a post. If you tag me in a post, I will see it, but I won't see it right away. I have Facebook set up so that I have to actually go into my phone and open Facebook. I do that like once every couple days. But if you message me, I get those on Messenger. If you don't have my phone number, I don't want to put it out on YouTube, but if you don't have my phone number, ask around. It's out there. I have 2 phone numbers, 2 cell phones, and those are pretty readily available throughout the neighborhood. You're welcome to, if you ask where I live, people will tell you where I live. Again, I won't put that on YouTube, but you're welcome to stop by and say, hey, I have questions. Can you give me an answer? Maybe I'm busy right then, I can't answer you, but I'll be like, yeah, let's get together. I am seriously trying to think if there's anything else pool related that I can give an update on. I haven't even had a chance to update the board, so this is as fresh as the information gets. So if you're a board member, you're getting this at the same time as everybody else. So that's everything I can think of. Sorry for the long video, 13 minutes or so, but hopefully that gives a lot of information. If you have questions, reach out and I will do my very best to get you answers. Everybody take care.